Welcome to the Love Sessions. I'm Nori, and I am here with my incredible, brilliant, wonderful co-host, Lily Rodriguez. Hi, Lil.
Hi, Nori.
Hi. So good to talk with you again.
Oh, so good to talk with you, Miss Incredible, Wonderful, Fabulous, Sparkly, Iridescent, Nori Love.
Oh, iridescent. I
hmm
like iridescent. Thank you. Thank you. How's life been going?
Life has been good. It's
Good.
been good. Um, I think everyone's experiencing probably some interesting bumps and shifts and things like that, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah. We're really floating, I don't dare I say floating. We're really moving through, unprecedented times that it feels so accelerated. It feels like it's moving really fast, and with that comes experiences, and with people's experiences comes opinions. And,
Mhm.
I've been noticing on social media that people seem to be having stronger and stronger opinions about things, which is interesting when it's expressed, in a polite way,
In a polite way. What about an impolite
in
way?
a polite way. Yeah, it was fun. Well, here's just a case in point. There was some man on Facebook, and oh, he said about one of my pictures I posted about my pink glasses. He said, you could look at a paper map and see people walking with those glasses. So I thought, who is this person with such a strong opinion about my glasses? So I went to his Facebook page, and I really don't even know who he was, but he was going through illness and impending surgery, and he opined how he can't understand why nobody's rallying around him and supporting him. And I thought, well, if you stop inflicting your opinions on people like my pink glasses, you might get some support.
I don't, first of all, because we both are very visual, so I
Yes.
hear it and I see it, and
Yes.
I'm thinking, how cool would it be to be able to look at a paper map and
Right?
see people walk? Like, I'm just like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. They are magic glasses. Yes.
Yes, I want that superpower. I mean, that's so cool.
It's cool. It is.
But yeah, yeah, definitely. Another word that I love that you said was floating earlier,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's um I think floating is a good thing, and embracing that, especially coming into contact with situations like you just described. Like, stay floating, stay above it, because there are so many people that really are set in their ways.
Yes.
And I mean, for whatever reason it is, it might not necessarily be malicious. That's not usually where we go here when we talk about people and situations. Sometimes it's just that's the way they are. That's all they know.
Absolutely.
That's right. And so they throw their opinions out because they truly believe that that's the way things are supposed to be.
Yes.
And if everybody else isn't doing it that way, then everybody else is wrong.
Right. Right. But
Right?
I wonder what state of mind they live in, thinking, oh, Pixie's talking, thinking that everybody does it that way. I mean, if you're out in the world or in the workplace, or maybe even in the grocery store, you have to kind of maybe have examples that not everybody does it, whatever that is, that one single way that they do it. What is their state of mind, I wonder? Are they just so busy that they don't have room to expand their thought process to see what else is happening? Or I don't know.
Gosh, there's probably so many ways to answer that question, and probably so many answers.
Yeah.
One that popped in my head was is lonely. When you were
Oh,
saying that, like that must be very lonely if you feel, if
hmm.
you have very set ways about the way things have to be, and you're living in a world where there are so many different options and so many different people doing things differently. It must feel very lonely and isolating, I would think.
That's
And
interesting.
that's just,
Yeah.
one thought about it. Yeah.
No, that's a good thought. That's a good thought. I didn't think that thought. Or, I wonder if sometimes whatever it is they're having a strong opinion about, that they think there's that only one way to do it. I wonder if they're kind of like hammering it in, trying to make themselves believe it. And sometimes when we talk about it over and over and over again, we begin to solidify that thing that we want to believe.
Ooh, that's good too. Yeah. I mean, it's simplifying that thought a little bit. Just, if that's the way you were brought up in your family and maybe your culture, your society, your environment, that things had to be done a certain way. And maybe part of you is starting to feel like, oh, wait, there's different ways of doing it. But then there might be like that sense like being disloyal in some
Mm,
way. And so you
interesting.
have to defend it instead
Hmm.
of exploring, what that part of you that's thinking, oh, there's different ways of doing this. I mean, that's really complicated there too.
That is complicated. That is. That's so good. That is
Yeah,
so good.
about that. Like, wow. Yeah. I guess there's so many different ways. I know in one of the previous love sessions that we did, I think you had brought up a really great example that I think pretty much everybody can relate to is breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a
Yeah.
certain time, right? Meals at a certain time having to be had that way,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes. 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 Like you can't have breakfast for dinner.
Which, breakfast is my favorite meal. I'll have
Is it?
breakfast any time of day. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Breakfast
I didn't know
is
that.
absolutely my favorite meal. And I mean, like the breakfast foods,
Uh-huh.
like uh,
Like
breakfast for dinner, I'm in.
like the real deal, like an omelet or what?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Mm,
So, but even just, yeah, having to, eat a meal when you wake up, eat a meal at the middle of the day, and eat a meal sort of at the end of the day. What if you're not hungry at
right.
the time?
Right. Right. And yeah, yeah. And those are beliefs that many of us who are on the self-empowerment trajectory, we are challenged to look at them a lot rather than before, when I was just doing, my regular work and not on the self exploration journey. I don't think I was called to look at my beliefs and what I really believe and do I really believe them? Do these beliefs that I picked up when I was 7 years old really serve me now? I don't
Mhm.
know how you are inspired to look at them unless you intentionally choose, self-discovery or I'm not sure what other words I could use to make my point better, but
I, I'm thinking of the word permission,
hmm,
giving yourself permission to explore your thoughts, like your own thoughts and feelings and opinions around those things. I wonder how many people
hmm,
don't deny themselves permission to think outside of, the box, the norm, whatever, and explore different ways. And then that's why some of them will then defend those things so hard against someone who's doing things differently and kind of come at us almost in an aggressive way, like
hmm,
you're doing it wrong, you have to do it this way, just because they don't want to give themselves permission to kind of look at things differently.
hmm. Yeah, that's that's kind of shaking the foundation of a lot, right?
Yeah.
When we start looking at that. And when I was thinking about this morning, I was going back to what you said earlier, thinking that I think most people's motives are really good, even though they may inflict their belief on you, like, no, you've got to do it this way. And that made me wonder if maybe some people perceive us as struggling with our own belief, and they're uncomfortable with the struggle that they see in us. So they are like, here, try this belief, right? Here, this one is better, you know. So I mean, in thinking that the motives are good, that could be another reason why people do that, you know?
Yeah, I tend to want to believe that also. So yeah, in trying to sort of respond to that kind of behavior from someone, I
Yeah.
think what you're saying is a really good first place to go. Like this
Mm,
person doesn't really mean me any harm.
right,
They are sharing what they believe because they think it's good for me and it's helpful for me.
right.
So I think that that's a good first place to
Yeah,
start
that
before
is,
we, yeah,
that's a really good point. And you know, starting there leaves us in an energetic place to explore more possibilities. If we go immediately to, oh, you know, their belief, you know, that they're trying to inflict on me is about domination and control, well, then we're closed down, you know, and we're probably not going to explore any of the kind and benevolent, you know, opportunities, that their motives, that their heart is in the right place, you know.
yeah,
Even though
yeah,
you give me a lecture about drinking diet soda every time I see you, because regular soda is only the thing to drink, right? Your heart is in the right place. But
yeah,
please stop. No.
yeah. And I think the question is for purposes of your own self-care,
Hmm.
what's the best way to take that in? Do I need to defend myself? Do I need to feel attacked?
Right.
Um, do I need to feel negative about this in any way?
Yeah.
Or can I just, and going back to that word that you started with, float above this,
Hmm. Yes.
which I
And
think is where the true power lies.
that is where the true power lies, right? And they call that's there's a lot of terms for that in the coaching world, and you know, in the energetic world. And you know, 0 point is one of the terms that they use for that, where you are just neutral, you know. Somebody says something to you, maybe it would have, you know, triggered you a few months ago, but you're consciously aware of wanting to be neutral, wanting to be floating, wanting to be like 0 point. And from there, I think we do default to look at the good motives that could be behind what's happening, you know, and maybe not even consider it control or domination, you know. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. And it definitely is a better place, a better way for us to take care of ourselves, to
Yeah.
not engage mentally or emotionally with whatever is coming at us, whatever difference of opinion or someone trying to impose or inflict uh, their thinking about something, like how we should do, is just not, you don't need to take it in. You
Yeah.
you don't need to respond. If possible, you can just kind of ignore it. If possible, or just one of my favorite things that I say to Jasmine all the time is just smile and nod.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. Just smile and keep going. I love
yeah,
that. That's the answer right there.
There you go.
That is, and you know, if it's important or if it's a close relationship, you know, and an intimate relationship or somebody you see a lot, you could stay floaty and stay neutral and go, what is it that you really want me to know about this? You know, I mean, if you really want to get to the truth of what the motive is, we could always ask.
Oh, I love that. That's great. Like asking the person, like, tell me, um, tell me your thought process behind that. Why, why does that work for you or whatever, without actually, again, without taking it in and feeling like, oh, I have to defend myself against their attack. Just hear them out.
I
As
love it.
long as they're not coming at you, with saying you have to, you have to, you have to.
Right.
Just like, yeah, tell me your story. I mean, I can imagine if someone, going back to the whole breakfast, lunch, and dinner thing, if someone is really set in those ways and maybe asking some questions and seeing where they got that, there probably would be some very interesting stories behind
That's true.
why, right? Like behind why their family did it a certain way, or why they grew up, that way in the meals. And oh, I'm here thinking about opening somebody up and hearing, stories about their family and stuff. And who knows, it could be a great conversation.
I love it. I love it. And what you said, exploring the relationship, the interaction, the what seems like an opinion placed upon you, um, exploring it from a place of curiosity is really bringing the love back to you because then you stay nice and centered and grounded, and you know, that's where the possibilities are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what it's always about here in the love sessions, is simple ways to just bring that love back to you, and not and protecting yourself and taking care of yourself, but still staying open to the world around you, because there's so much beauty in the world around us.
Mm.
And not feeling attacked is one of the best ways to experience it.
That is so powerful. And those are really good feeling words to end on because with everything that's going on, you know, on the political front and on the news and um, there's a lot of reasons for people to be triggered. And I just absolutely love what you said in order to keep us in a really good place. That's beautiful, Lil. I'm gonna go make you an omelet. You want cheese?
Oh, absolutely. Cheese, please.
All right. Extra cheese for both of us. Thank you so much, Lily. Thanks everybody for being here.
Thank you, Nori, and thank you, everyone. And yes, we are entering a season where it's going to be rocky and triggering for some people. So we here at the Love Sessions hope to deliver content that makes you feel better, maybe makes you laugh, maybe inspires you. So look forward to more interesting topics. And please, if you have something that you'd like to hear us talk about, share in the comments down below. And in the meantime, always remember to bring love back to you.
Absolutely.